What is up and welcome back, and today we have the Kyrie Flytrap 5, which is a nice general basketball shoe. We have the white university red colorway, so let's get into some of the details of this shoe. To begin this review, I did want to mention that this shoe is not going to be over impressive like more expensive basketball shoes, but it is going to be a shoe that gets the job done, and that's something you want in a basketball shoe. And we have right here this white university red colorway, and we can start off by taking a look at all the details. And for me personally, I think this colorway is one of the more better looking colorways for the Flytrap 5. All white is pretty clean, and I do like the hints of red all throughout. We can begin by looking at the materials of the shoe. For the upper is going to be this mesh material for the majority of the shoe. And the mesh is going to start from the ankle area moving down. It's going to be around this area moving down. And that is going to include the tongue as well. So for the back portion of the shoe, you're going to have this synthetic material from around right here moving back. And especially in the middle section is going to be transparent. But you can see that right there. This is going to be a basic mesh. It's not going to have an overlay in the front like other shoes have because it is a basic model. But it is going to have this material right here fused into the shoe. It's going to add some extra durability to the shoe, but none in the front like we mentioned. And for this shoe, we're also going to do the light test to see how breathable this shoe really is. And as you can tell, this shoe lights up everywhere. A real good shoe for the summer or if you like to keep your feet nice and cool. So this shoe isn't going to have a lot of cushioning, especially from this area to the front of the shoe, but it is going to have some support in the back of the shoe. As you can tell, it's just medium thickness. It's not too thin, but it's definitely not thick at all. And you don't have any of the cushioning pillows that the Kyrie 7 has. Once again, this is a basic model. But the one thing I do like about this shoe is the back of the heel. It does have a heel clip back here, so you do get that support. It's nice and sturdy in the back of the shoe. Now we take a look at the lacing system. It has two straps that come across like this. We can see two red ones and two white ones. And they're supposed to aid with the lockdown of the shoe when you tie your shoelaces. But in my opinion, they don't really do a big impact with the lockdown. Maybe you might feel them just for a little bit when you're tying them up, but they happen to loosen up because there's nothing to hold them in place. Is there, I feel, more for aesthetics, and maybe they just give a little bit more tightness to the shoe, but nothing too drastic. As far as the cushioning goes, you're going to have a full-length phylon. And that's going to be good for that reactive feel. You're going to feel the ground underneath your feet that you can move quick and do slashes and cuts. However, you're not going to have good impact protection because in a basic budget shoe, you can't have it both ways. So like I said, this shoe is going to get the job done, but you just got to know the limitations of the shoe. So don't be trying to jump super high with this shoe because your landings aren't going to be the best. Now, if we look at the bottom of the shoe, this is what the traction looks like. It is very similar to the Flytrap 4. So we have right here the Flytrap 4. And this mesh, actually, since we're looking at the Flytrap 4, is very similar to like right here. Like this transparent mesh, but in the front, right here, is kind of what the Flytrap 4 in this colorway look like for the whole shoe. But the one thing about this traction I want to say is I do like the grooves and how the pattern of the shoe looks like for the bottom. However, one thing I like to do when I test shoes, when I'm going to buy them, is I like to rub my hand underneath the shoe like this. Because if your hand moves pretty easily, doesn't get caught that often with the traction, you know that the traction isn't going to hold up real good in real high competitive competition. That's something I want you to be aware of. So this shoe is going to be very good. You want to use it as a warm-up shoe, or you're playing pickup ball with your friends, or just even games that don't matter. I would be using this shoe Okay, but just know you're not going to be guarding the best guy out there, the guy that's the quickest in this shoe, because you are going to get a little bit of sliding on the shoe. But if you use this shoe outdoors, I mean, the outdoor floor is going to aid in the traction of the shoe, but just be aware that you're not going to have that real good grip. You would get that real good grip in like a Kyrie 7, okay? But once again, this is a basic model shoe, so it's going to have limitations. And once again, I do love the Kyrie line because even though it is a basic shoe, it has a lot of the good features of the more expensive. Like I said, I do like the side bumpers being nice and thick right here on a basketball shoe. That helps out with the toe drags. Also, something important I wanted to mention is sizing. If you're a wide footer, make sure you start at least a half size up. And if your foot is extra wide, make sure you at least go one size up, or else you're going to be having problems in the front of the shoe, the pinky area and the middle section. It's going to be very tight, and especially when you play basketball, you're going to be having problems. Even to get the shoe on, it's going to be very difficult, okay? So make sure you're following those guidelines if you're a wide footer. So there you have it. Hopefully this review was able to help you out. Like I said, this is a shoe that gets the job done. It's going to be a shoe that keeps your feet nice and cool. The way the materials are set up, it does have some ankle support with the heel clip. It has a nice thick traction for the bottom of the shoe. However, it's not going to be the most grippy shoe out there, so be aware of that. Don't try to jump too high in these shoes, okay, because the landings aren't going to be the softest landings. But other than that, you know, I do recommend the Kyrie line. You just gotta know what kind of shoe you're buying. So that's pretty much what this review was about. Here's the new colorway. Real nice shoe with a lot of style. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.